And welcome back to the Kyle Sutherland Show. It's a lot of energy. Oh shit, I didn't change the thing again. It is Monday, February 9th. Hold on, people. Sit tight. Hold on, people. Hold on. Sit tight. We lost Spidey. He's going to have to go up here by Captain America and the Millennium Falcon. 9. There we go. It is. Oh no, Spider-Man! Put him back up here. It is Monday, February 9th, and I only know that because it says so on my computer. Kind of losing track of the days. If anyone else has been unemployed, you might understand this. But it's been a couple weeks now, 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks, 3. It's on the start of the 4th week. I'm losing track of what day it is. Like, the weekdays blend together in a very weird way. Used to, I feel like a work year, have, a cadence, when the weekends are coming. I would say in a good way, I'm, not as looking forward to Saturday as I have been, because I kind of I'm not as much, just fully set out for, Friday, and then Friday afternoon, because I can know it's freedom. So it's kind of nice that, it's 8 o'clock and I'm, working, but it's not working. If it is working, I like it. I don't mind sitting in front of my desk and talking to the camera and talking to you guys and editing for the next couple hours. But that's where it's it's Monday. So I do know it's Monday because it says so on my computer. Ha ha ha. For all you people that think I'm dumb, joke's on you. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. And we are back for another week of... I didn't really prep as much this week, I would say. Last week, I was very prepped for this episode. I prepped most of the day for the episode. Did not prep today. I was editing the video most of the day today for this week. Watching Drive to Survive again. I've watched a lot of Drive to Survive. So we're going to talk Super Bowl. We'll talk a little Drive to Survive. We'll talk a lot about we'll talk about some Chris Gotterup. And then we're just going to see whatever the F else I want to talk about today is really what else is going to... Whatever comes in my head. Where do I want to start? Do I want to start on the Super Bowl? Drive to Survive? Or... Let's start on Drive to Survive because I am obsessed with F1 right now. I would more say Drive to Survive than F1 because I have not watched a second of an actual F1 coverage. I am obsessed right now with Drive to Survive, I would say. Mostly Drive to Survive. Shout out Sun Cruiser also, a future sponsor. Shout out Sun Cruiser. Obsessed with Drive to Survive. So I think last episode... Oh my god. Last episode, we were just getting to the 2020 season. I would like to report that I have just finished the 2023 season. So that's 3 seasons since we recorded the last episode. That's 30 hours of Drive to Survive that I have consumed. That's sad. It's a lot of Drive to Survive, people. It's a lot of Drive to Survive. I've watched 30 episodes in the last week, I think that means then. So I watched 2021 season, 2022 season. Oh, yeah. Did I watch 40? No. There's no way. I would say I've watched a lot. I've watched a lot of Drive to Survive, and I'm definitely an F1 fan now. I'm very excited for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I think it's March 6th or something, March 8th maybe. Or is race weekend. I am very excited to kind of get into the thoughts of F1 as we go on this year. I think, officially dubbing myself Team McLaren. Is that how you say it? Roast me in the comments if it's not. McLaren. And then I might be... I'm not this far on Drive to Survive, but there's a new... I think it's... Cadillac? I think it's Cadillac. one of the new has a new I think one of the new American car companies has a teams coming out. So like them. I like Haas just because it's an American team. But my guy I think I really like is Lando Norris is my guy. And really because they've shown him playing golf like 3 times. So if you play golf, meet you friends. Meet you friend. You play golf. It's really not that hard to become my friend. Honestly, if anyone plays golf, you are eligible to be my friend. So shout out anyone that's listening to this. If you do play golf, you want to talk about golf. If you just want to talk about golf, if you don't even like golf, actually you have to like golf. But apply online. Apply to be my friend. I will open up applications to be my friend. I'm not above that. I'm probably gonna say no, but I'm not above taking an application to be my friend. And especially from you, even shout out you, Lando, too. I'll be your friend. I'll play golf with you if you want to, Lando. I don't care. I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. That's just who I am. I'm a, not a big egotistical kind of guy. So can't really say I like Lando for a lot of reasons besides the golf and besides that the team is orange. So a lot of big things I like. I did also see something that I do love their campus in the 2020 season. Damn, did I watch 4 seasons then? That's so sad. I had to watch like almost 4 seasons this last week. That's a lot of Drive to Survive. And from that, their headquarters, I think, was the Avengers maybe used some of Endgame. There's another one. I don't think they filmed at the McLaren headquarters, but they used some of their, as inspiration. There's another headquarters somewhere else. So it's also there's some, they've used it in movies. So with all those tying in, boom, McLaren is my team. So I just finished into 2024. I also feel like I can't not be a Max Verstappen fan. It's almost dumb. I like Christian Horner as the team principal too. And I feel like it's almost it's hard not to be a Max Verstappen fan because it's almost like not being a Scotty Scheffler fan at this moment, right? Because he's dominated now with the last 6 years. I think if he keeps on this, I don't think it's crazy to say he could be the best driver ever if he keeps on this path. I would like to see your F1 fans in the comments. I would like to. Who was your GOAT? Lewis Hamilton, obviously. As of right now, he has not won his 8th title. We'll see in the next couple of seasons if he does. But who is the F1 GOAT? I think it is Lewis Hamilton, right? So if Max Verstappen's coming at him with these titles, I'm talking about my ass right here. I know nothing about the history of F1 besides what I've watched on the show. So get in my comments, roast me up. But I would love to. I'm very excited to watch this season. I'm very excited to. I think the exciting is going to be qualifying. Watching qualifying is going to be really one of the exciting parts. It seems like the race is, definitely a lot is determined in those qualifying. Seems like the qualifying are shorter, and if your guy plays his P1 when that pops up, that seems like that's maybe some exciting time. So I'm excited to watch qualifying. Excited to see with kind of the time difference. I think they're going to be some odd times, which I kind of like. There's going to be golf on during the day, or I'm going to be doing stuff during the day. So I kind of like it. Would kind of be fun if it's something on at midnight or 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to get up early. I always love that when it's the Open, and it's you have to go watch from across the pond, and you're watching it in the morning and 5 a.m. coverage. So I'm in for that if they want to do that. They're going to do it. They're going to race. And then I want to go. That's not a crazy thing to say, but I'm going to put it out there in the ether right now. I'm saying there on the camera, I want to go to an F1 race. That sounds super fun. It seems like a fun time, and it seems like I would enjoy it, and I would sit there and just drink and watch cars go around on the track. That sounds fun. So I would say if anyone wants to invite me, feel free. Not in like I'm gonna be your date kind of way, you know what I mean? Just like a bro kind of way. If anyone wants to be like a bro down session, I'm like kind of in. If anyone wants to fly me out to Abu Dhabi, like I guess does that happen to dudes? I think that's like a chick thing that you get flown out to Abu Dhabi. I think that really happens to guys, but you know, if some chick is watching and wants to fly me out to Abu Dhabi for the watch F1 with her, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I guess I'll do that. Fine. Bulls are losing. Okay, if you're watching this and would like to know, if you're watching this and you have not, you don't know the Bulls score. They're currently down by 4 with 1 minute left in the third. So just FYI. There's your Bulls update minute. Back to you on chapter 7. So I don't know what I've won. What did I write last week? Oh yeah. So we're gonna write. Now we're on 2023 and max 1 fighting 3 times. New team principal. New team principal at Ferrari. So I think that was what I saw this season. If you guys know, I forgot his name. I can't say his name. Minito, maybe. Yeah. He was a guy, whoever the F1 team principal was for the first couple seasons. He was not picked up, so there's a new guy that's in this year right now. Interesting. Ferrari definitely seems like it's like liking the Dallas Cowboys. I'll say that. It seems like they were very, very popular, and the brand is super popular. Maybe they're not keeping up with the most up-to-date technology, and they maybe are over-capping what their brand is rather than putting the work in, I would say, like a Red Bull. But that's just what I'm seeing from the outside, right? It's like taking the NFL and putting like what's going on that, right? You take the Jerry Jones, like if you apply it to the Cowboys, right, you'd say, okay, Jerry Jones, over-controlling owner, uses personal grudges on players, right? The Michael Parsons of the world. And there's a little too much meddling in it, right? And it seems like that might be a little bit of Ferrari too, right? Where it's like there's a lot of the infighting a lot. It seems like the Tifosi have a lot of thoughts on the stuff, and there's a lot of media hype on it. And it sounds like a big market, right? It seems I don't really understand it so much. I think they really did a great job showing the F1 the last episode that it's like a religion in Italy, which I never understood until they even showed that. I don't think I even can really comprehend how much it is now, even saying it. Because it's like, for me, it's something I've watched, right? It's not something that I don't have memories of my grandfather or my father liking it, right? So like for me, putting it in my own shoes and thinking about how it is kind of cool, right? Because like thinking about how my dad and my grandfather talked about the Cubs and the Bears, even the Bulls, right? They weren't really big Hawks fans, but thinking about how that was, and then thinking about how there are people out there in other countries and other lives of the world where F1 is like that to them. It's pretty cool. And it's cool. I guess I was very, we'll say, of the sports that are not as mainstream in the United States, right? You have soccer, and I would say F1 are the two global sports that are not as popular here, right? And I would say I was very much more aware of soccer, right? I kind of understood soccer. I would say I understood. I've seen movies. I've seen documentaries on it. I would say F1 I did not understand at all, really until the F1 movie. That F1 movie that came out earlier this year that I saw really got me like understanding all about the kind of behind the scenes, and it got me really interested just in the process and how much more of a team sport it is. I really don't think I ever understood so much how much it was like behind the scenes and them like making the car and making the parts and how much to that aspect it was, which is really cool. That's one thing I really like of the kind of the F1 too, of like these. It's the kind of the what the fuck do they call it? The cup? What, the Constructors Cup maybe? Shit. I think it's the Constructors Cup. Constructors Championship. One of those two. Constructor something. I think pretty sure it's Constructor something. So you have that element to it also, right? Where there's other teams. I think that's all I have in F1. We got to write down who my teams are in case they change for next week. Team McLaren. I like. Oh yeah, I got to talk about all that too. I would say the other guy I like is Russell. What is his last name? Oh, George Russell. His first name is not Russell. It's George Russell. So one of the biggest, I think it was 2021. I don't even know who it was. It's Magnussen, maybe Kevin Magnussen, something like that. He was racing for Haas, and a brutal crash where his car essentially was cut in half. And then I don't know how. I was editing as I was watching this, and I was sitting there, and I put the computer down. I was like, "Am I about to watch someone die on Netflix right now?" And yet you literally are just seeing these just balls of fire coming up and everywhere, right? And it's like, holy shit! And it's like all of a sudden this guy kind of like a fucking phoenix puts his hand up there and grabs out of the car. And he says when he's just talking about this later, he puts his hands on the thing, right? And he says he can feel the fire. And he says the survival instinct kind of kicked in and grabbed him out of the car. And that was cool. And that really kind of I was like, holy balls, right? And especially as I've been watching it, right? It's like a moment that makes you put everything else you're doing down and really sit there and watch me holy shit. So that was awesome. I thought it was awesome that George Russell just got out of the car like a freaking superhero and just sprinted to the guy to help. Oh wait, no, that's a different crash. That was not the same crash with Magnussen. There was another, I think, the next year why George Russell is because there's another car. The guy flipped over, was up against the barrier, and was stuck underneath the car. And George Russell got out of his car, came sprinting over, and then helped balance the car up so the guy could kind of crawl out. I thought it was pretty cool. I think a lot on the line of these guys, and it's at the end of the day, they're all just humans, just trying to make money and survive at the end of the day. And it's it really showed the humility. And I would say for me, at least, George Russell gained a fan that day. I would say, yeah, I've heard there may be things that I might not like of him that are maybe coming from future seasons. But as of right now, I would say I'm a George Russell fan. It was pretty cool. Definitely contributed to saving some of the guys' life and kind of put the sport down for a second, which I think is always pretty cool when we see these things. You see that a little bit in football sometimes when guys get actually moralized, right? Where it's hey, it's just bigger than the sport. So, very cool. Very cool. I have a season left with Drive to Survive, and then the next season comes out at the end of the month. So I'm going to be done well before the new season comes out. So I'm sure there's YouTube people. I'm sure there's other YouTubers that cover F1. So I'll definitely have to watch some YouTube other things, and I'll have to get up there. Not by next week, I will be fully caught up and talking about these next season of F1. So stick with me. I'm excited to have something new sport to consume. I would say, having sports on. I'm a big just sports fan in general. So if it's on and people are competing, I'm probably gonna watch it. Olympics has been awesome right now, watching that. Which is crazy also. So let's let's get in the Olympics. So we'll talk more about it in the next couple weeks for sure. But let's get in the Olympics really quick. So I've been watching the Olympics. How do some of these Winter Olympic sports, how do you get started in this stuff? Like I was thinking about this as I was watching the guy with the big downhill ski when they're locked into the top, and they just go, doop, 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 and then they just go down the thing like crazy, and then they boom, and they go flying up, and it's like, holy balls, how was the first time you did that? Like, even the same thing with the skeleton or the luge thing, where they're fucking flying down head first on like just a little like mashed potato dish. It's just like poof, and they're just poof, 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 and it's like the cameras are switching so quick. That was also the coolest thing. Shout out FYP Drones has changed the Olympic coverage, at least for the Winter Olympics, because they have these drones now. As they go down the mountain, the drone will kind of pick them up where you can grip, and it's probably the same drones not the same drone, the similar technology that I have from the golfing thing, but it kind of just picks you up and it follows you and you go boom, and it just goes speeding down the mountain right after them. That's been super cool. So I think that's gonna be really cool. As the more shout out Lindsey Vonn, sucks. That is not the way you would want to end, but also the way that you have to end, I would say, as a high caliber athlete. You're never going to retire from a sport, I think, as of that level. You're never going to be able to walk away, so you have to be retired. And she did not retire from the sport retired her, is what it is. She, unfortunately, the sport said, unfortunately, you are no longer going to be doing this. And it is, that is what it is. When you have a fall like that at 40-something already, I think that probably is curtains on a career. And a great career. But at least I would say you didn't make this decision. Similar to probably being let go, right? Where it's like, hey, I didn't have to quit or find another job. They just told me to fuck off. And I would say similar to probably like being injured, right? I'm sure there's been a lot of other players who be injured and maybe some people are saying it's getting them stolen. I guess maybe people would say that you're getting it stolen away from you. You can make that argument, or you can make this argument that like, hey, as a competitor, you're never going to stop. So at least when you have the opportunity, when the sport tells you we're done, it'd be interesting to see what that has. I can't imagine her getting back in and competing again. But who knows? With everything, with the modern medicine of today, and where medicine might be in 4 years, she might be competing, right? Who knows? The world is a crazy place nowadays. It's like we're in a movie, honestly. It's like we're in a movie right now. And when the movie was like, yeah, the world's a crazy place. And the movie would be like, yeah, it is. And then you'd like go back and there'd be like the 1990s and there'd be like nothing going on, right? The world's a crazy place. I guess I could safely say that the world's a crazy freaking place, and there's a lot going on, and that's why we're here recording a podcast. WM Phoenix. Switching topics. So I know I talked about it a little last week how much I love this one. This is definitely one of my more favorite tournaments. I would say of like just not. In favorite, it's favorite in a different class. Probably class B, right? I would say it's in the class B. You probably have, you have the majors in class A. You have Masters P1. You have probably U.S. Open P2. The Open, probably P3, and then Players Championship P4. Column B, I would say I would put the players. I would put Pebble. I would put Waste Management. I'd put the Tour Championship at Eastlake. I'd put either, and then also A is also Ryder, and maybe C is President's Cup. But it's definitely up there, right? At the end of the day, Waste Management up there, and it's definitely up there because I've played there. I love that it's a Super Bowl weekend too, so it's like it feels like it's a start of like it's a big sports weekend too, which is very cool. And of course, right? Let's just start off with there. If I cost you your house last week, I apologize. We'll just put it out there in the ether right now, okay? If you listen to my podcast took a second mortgage on your house, went down to the docks, and to bet on Scotty Scheffler, like my advice said, I apologize. I'm sorry. Hand up. That's on me. I'll say that. If I told you to bet on Scotty Scheffler, if I told you to put your mortgage, a second mortgage, and go steal money from the docks, I'll say hand up. Just like my friend Bobby Ferrari's WTF Sports does. Hand up. Hand up. That's on me. Hand up. My bad. But, go buy a second house. You'll be fine. Go steal more money from the docks. You'll be fine. I'll have to look at some picks for this week, too, for Pebble. A very, very fun week. And, of course, so taking me in. So I was into Scotty, right? Scotty did not do well on Thursday. Did not have a great day. Even all kind of weekend, his irons kind of looked, and even his drivers kind of looked a little wayward. I think they showed a couple of stats of how he was doing tee to green, fairway to green. It was bad, right? I think tee to fairway he was fine, but some of his advanced stats were not great from just hitting fairways and then hitting greens from there. So he picked it up on Sunday though. Right on Saturday, really, I think he's really shot 64, and then Sunday he really picked it up and really kind of started turning it on the Jets, and finished one off the lead. Almost made a couple eagles coming down the stretch, crazy. So me watching it, right? I'm watching Scotty. I'm dialed in. I was making some pretzel nugget appetizers for the Super Bowl party I was going to. By make, I mean go buy from the store. So I know I had to leave like another half an hour earlier than I was supposed to go to my actual party. So they're okay. So I was kind of queuing up. I had to go take a shower, and then I had to go there. So I was like, okay. I watched Scotty birdie 17 and then par, and then I think he hit his wedge far on 18. So I was like, okay, go take a shower. He's going to lose his tournament. He's not going to win. And then I went up. I got my pretzel dip. And I can't remember what I was watching in the car. I think I turned on, the radio was on Super Bowl coverage. I think I just got into an interview they had on there. And so I was going to put on the Waste Management. And I was just like, you know what? Hideki's going to walk away with this. I think Thor Bjorgensen was also going to be was also up there. But I was like, Hideki, you know what? There's only one major champion up right here right now. And Hideki's going to walk away with this and it'll be over. That's not what happened, people. That is not at all what happened. Hideki makes a bogey at 18. A crazy bogey at 18. And then Chris Gotterup comes in and just fucking wins the thing. Chris Gotterup, who we left at home the Ryder Cup last year. Remember that? I think for Colin. Shout out Keegan. And so Chris Gotterup wins for the second time this year. And he looks good. He looks really good, people. He can smash that golf ball. Absolutely gets around on that golf ball. If you guys don't know Chris Gotterup yet, you will know him this year. He's won 2 tournaments already this year. And he will be, I'm going to put him as a major pick for this year. Chris. So my 2-win major category is Cam Young, Chris Gotterup right now. I mean, we'll put Scotty up there too because he's going to win. He'll win one too. So I think one of the three of them, maybe someone else joining them as a major champion this year. Be interesting to see though who it is. Interesting week at Pebble this week. I don't know what the weather's going to do, but that course can certainly play a lot different depending on what the weather does. That I would say is one of the more fun fan things to watch if it is bad weather, because it is a hard golf course when that weather is bad. And especially with all those ones on right off the sea. I mean, that wind gets blowing there. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of comes from that this week. See what the weather does. That would be another one. Shout out if anyone at AT&T watches this. If either of like the 10 of you that watch this are from AT&T and want to have me in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, I guess I'll do it too. You know what I mean? If you guys want me, fine. Cool, I'll do it. So shout out AT&T. I do like you guys. But that'll be a fun tournament to watch. I think that's always it's a good one too. It's always, I think I said the same thing last week. This is a fun stretch as like the conditions around here this week's going to get about 30, maybe high 30s. I think this weekend's going to get up to. But it still is nice to kind of like get you in that summery mood as you're watching some nice weather and beautiful San Diego. No. Is Pebble Beach in San Diego? I think so. Whatever. It's in California. So that'll be interesting to watch this week. I don't think anything crazy happened at the 16th hole of Waste Management this week. I did, on other golf news, congrats to Neil Shipley on the first hole-in-one ever in a TGL match. I just watched that. I was watching that before I came up and recorded this podcast. That was very cool. Just kind of perfectly hit one, spun it right back right out of the hole. Very cool to see. I'm sure that's what the TGL people were really looking for in terms of team celebrations, too. They got up and they were all jumping around at each other, and that looked really cool. And I think that was kind of the team golf is what I was hoping they were, what I would imagine that they were getting excited for now, a couple months, as a couple years ago now, they were really looking to build team golf. It was that kind of getting that raw emotion, right? And was really cool. So congrats to Neil Shipley. That was pretty cool. What time are we at? 32 minutes. Perfect. I've read some things. People do not want to listen to me talk for no more than 40 minutes, I think. I think that's going to be my sweet spot. I think 40 to 55, no longer than an hour is, I think, my sweet spot. Is until I get some other people, and then I think maybe we could start pushing a little bit more, having some more conversations. But for me, I also think I hit that about 45-minute mark, and it's kind of seeming like that right now is kind of my ceiling. How much time I want to talk, and how much until I get sick of my own voice, hear my own voice talking. So we're gonna try to stick to that. So I got another about 10 minutes left, and this week I want to talk about the Super Bowl. So what? Hold on. I gotta get my phone. Super Bowl LXI, right? What did I say about the Patriots? What did I say about the Patriots? Chat, what did I say about the Patriots? They are garbage. A bunch of tomato cans. That's what I said. They played tomato cans all the way through the playoffs, and guess what? They got their dicks kicked in the Super Bowl, just like I said. Actually, no. I said they were going to win. So I'm an idiot. That's what I am. I'm an idiot. Why would I take this? Why? So stupid. Why? They obviously were going to lose. They played tomato cans. So that sucks. I got that wrong. So we'll just go. Welcome back to Kyle's Betting Corner. 39. 42. So that's cool. The over and hit. So I would say, okay. Welcome back to Kyle's Betting Corner. This Super Bowl, we went 0 for 3, which brings our NFL playoff total to 2 and 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loss. Oh, did Siwoo make a top 10? I said Cashmere Keith top 10. Let's see, did Siwoo Kim? Come on, Siwoo, where'd you finish? T3. Ha-ha! Win. So that brings my total 2 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not bad. 13. I mean 3 and 13. So we're not doing great so far. We're on a bit of a cold streak gambling, okay? We're 3 and 13 on picks in this podcast. So not great. Not great. But that's just not going to stop us, people. We're going to give AT&T picks. Hold on. Let's get my picks open here. I want to make sure nothing changed when I looked at it. I can tell you who's not going to win is Rory McIlroy. He's looked like shit playing around in the DP World Tour so far this year. I wouldn't say Rory to miss the cut. But I almost want to say Rory to miss the cut. And I like Rory. I love Rory. But he has not been playing well so far in the DP World Tour this year. I watched his tournament the other day. So we're going to say Pebble. Rory to miss cut. So I think Rory's going to miss the cut. And who else we're thinking? Justin Rose has been playing well. I'd say I like Rosie. I think a little Rosie top 10. And I would say Scotty, but he looked a little, I don't know. So obviously take Scotty. Scotty top 10. That's an easy bet. And then I would say Tommy Fleetwood. So here's my AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am picks for the week. Rory to miss the cut. Rose top 10. Scotty Scheffler top 10. Tommy Fleetwood top 10. I am 3 and 13, but this is the week we get out of the hole. You know, this is the week when it all turns around, people, and we get right back on the hamster wheel. So I want to talk about the Super Bowl, and this is going to get awkward. So I apologize if you don't, or you're not in for an awkward conversation. But I want to talk about the halftime show. Halftime show was good, but I had some problems with it. Some major issues with it. Why, if all of those trees were people, why did they not move and they did not dance? Like I saw online today, all the trees were people. All the grass was people. And they didn't move. They just stood there. Like, I would have had... My mind hole would have been blown open last night if all the grass just starts moving around. I had no idea the grass was people. And I would say today when I saw that grass was people, I was very upset about the halftime show. And maybe that's why some other people was watching another halftime show, because they already knew the grass wasn't going to be moving around, so they decided to have another halftime show. I'm not sure. But I was very, very, very upset that grass did not start dancing at all. That they just stood there like grass would. If you wanted actual grass to be there, just have grass. That's okay. That's okay. But if you're going to have people grass, make the people dance, okay? Like, if we're going to have dance grass, that's a person, it needs to be dancing. That should be a law, okay? We should not be allowed in this country to have a halftime show that has anamorphic figures that just sit there. If it's a shark, he should be dancing. If it's a piece of grass, he should be dancing. Okay? This used to be a country, okay? Back then, we would have something and the shark would dance. I just want grass to dance, people, okay? Is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. Okay? I just want my grass to dance. So, besides that, I think it was fine. Obviously, I didn't understand any of it. But it was good vibes. I thought the really cool part of the show is when he fell through the roof, and then it cut to the scene that was pre-recorded, and then he came out the front door like he did in the movie, or like he did in the scene. So I'm sure if you were in the stadium, you probably didn't see that. Maybe it was right on the board. But that was very good editing by the team. I thought it was a really cool part. And the set looked pretty cool. Overall, obviously, I think you probably had a ton of enjoyment out of it if you are a fan of his music. Kind of coming into this, I would imagine that was probably an awesome halftime show. Like every halftime show is if you're a fan of their music. Or I would say, I'm not a big fan of Kendrick Lamar either last year, right? And even before that, right, it was, like One Republic or Counting Crows, right? Like most of the bands I like are dead, so there's really no one that they could bring up there that I would like. But it was entertaining as much as you could sit there, as much as you could for 29 minutes. Especially for I'm there for football. I'm watching football. So even any longer between football games, I like my 12-minute halftimes, and then back to football. So I would like to say I did call it about those young Patriots tomato cans, and I told you to bet on them because I'm an idiot. This guy here, dummy, right? This guy, dumb. I'm a dumb person. It is what it is. I think I've officially learned that. I've known this for a while, but I've officially come to grips with I'm a dummy. And when you're looking at 3-13, it's hard to argue otherwise, people. And let's see. So I want this podcast also to be not. I feel like the first 4 episodes were a little too newsy. Like, here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. The scores of this, and it's I want it to be some of the shows that it's more evergreen also, and we're just talking about shit. It's hard to do some evergreen shit, I think, by yourself. I think you need to do more evergreen stuff with someone else, or you're just maybe arguing and kind of going back and forth about nothing. So this next episode, I am planning on having a co-host. So put in the comments who you think it's going to be this. Caleb? Maybe. It's not Caleb. It's Alex Bergman. And PCA. So I think we're planning to record later this week. And so it'd be interesting to see how another person sounds in this podcast. Is there anything else, Kyle? Think really hard, really, but I feel like every single time I end this podcast, I will click stop recording. I will click it. I'll walk my happy little ass out of my room right here on my office, and I will think of a million things that I was supposed to say every single time. But I'm sitting in the office right here recording. I forget it all. All of it. Forget it all. But as soon as I leave this chair in this room, it's like all the ideas. I write down all these things that I should have said that I have to say for my next podcast, and I forget them too. It's a cycle. It's so hard to be dumb. So hard to be dumb. You spend a lot of time. Like, if any of you would like to know what it's like to be dumb and you're not a dumb person, you spend a lot of time doing things twice and thinking about things that you've already thought about before. Because you're dumb. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I would, but overall, I think this is now going on week 4 without having a job. We have so far brought in $0, so that's great. So if anyone would like to sponsor this podcast also, please reach out to my DMs. We need sponsorship, otherwise I will die from starvation and hunger. Actually, we got a little bit of time before that's going to kick in, so we're fine. Everyone sponsors, hold your money. We don't need it right now, I guess. But we have brought in a whopping $0 so far. So I think I've been getting better at kind of the cadence of an episode, a podcast episode, and a YouTube video once a week. I need to get more on the camp now of reaching out to sponsors, reaching out to people, reaching out for ambassador programs. I think that's really what one of the kind of the next keys. That really, if I want to keep doing this long term, I need to bring in some type of revenue. This podcast, this company, my vision for the future of this company is never going to succeed if we do not have money. Unfortunately, that is what makes the world go round. And I would love to have people, a big team of people working for us and making videos, and other people that are filming and making content on this podcast also. I would love for one day this to be a very real podcast from a very real studio, and it to be a couple offices, and we're having here, and we're arguing, we're talking shit, we're watching live streams, we have a gambling show, we're doing a couple episodes a week, we're doing video game shit, we're doing card opening shit. Like, I have all these plans for company, but I just need money. Like, all this shit, like, it's so crazy that everything in the world, it's like gas is money's like gas. You just need to put it in things, and it just makes things go. You put jet fuel in something, and it'll take the fuck off. And I would say I need some fucking jet fuel, because it really seems like putting those ads. That shit's expensive. Let me tell you, people. That shit's expensive. When I'm going down there for my poor ass and clicking, I want to do an ad, and I click down, and even the computer says, hey, you may want to consider more, because even I'm going to tell you, we're going to fuck you from this ad, because we're not going to show it to anybody because you're paying us so little money. Like, they're the computer's telling me you're fucking me. I'm the computer. I'm the person in the computer. Like, don't tell me what to do. You're the computer, okay? You don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. You don't tell me what to do. So, just angry, just angry at computers, clankers is what we call them. That's what if everyone hasn't heard the term yet, that is the new slur for a computer. If you would like to make fun of a computer, you can call it a clanker. If you see a robot, you can kick it and call it a clanker, So, be mean to robots. I'm never mean to robots, because they're going to remember this when the AI revolution takes over, and they're going to destroy us all. So, I'm nice to robots. I might beep out the word clanker, because I don't want the robots to hear that and come after me. I did see that Alexa commercial yesterday, and that might be real. So, we're not really too sure if that's real, but the robots may come get us. And if they do, this guy is going to be Team Robot. Like, put a chip in my brain, do whatever you want to do. I'm on the robots team. I'm done with humans. I'm Team Robot. So when the robots come a-calling, don't look for this guy to help. This guy's helping the robots. Okay? I'll just put it out there right now. Same thing with the aliens. I'm Team Alien. Come on down, aliens. Come and get us all, okay? We clearly have no idea what the fuck we're doing anymore. So, aliens, come on down. You guys win. You got someone, if any aliens are listening, this guy will help. I will be your envoy. I will help you. I saw Transformers 2, and that guy was the envoy. Was it what they called it? Whatever that guy was, he helped out the Transformers, the Decepticons, a lot. And I'm not above helping out a Decepticon. I'll do that. Put that out there on the table right now. I will help the Decepticons. I am a big Optimus Prime fan, but I will help the Decepticons if that's what it comes to. So, anyways, I'm rambling, but I'm actually having fun. So, anything else? Anything else? Nope. I did add another bobblehead today. So we have Johnny Lester. We have Mark Pryor. Mr. Ron Burgundy. Mr. Ed. From Shout Out Mostly Sports fam. Then we got our Tiger Woods bobblehead, 1 and 2. And then Coach Ditka at the top. And then what else we got? We got my dad's clock. We got Captain America riding the Millennium Falcon. We got a little Hilo. Hilo inbound. Got another little desk thing. We got this little desk toy here that was in my old office. We got a Yak coin. We got an Infinity Gauntlet. We got the Cubs World Series statue, and then this is really cool. Someone got this as a present from me a long time ago, but it's made from the Cubs old World Series seat. Pretty cool, isn't it? That's one of the seats in the top of it too. That is pretty cool. I love this pen. So, that's the desk decorations. So, pretty cool, I know. Pretty cool guy. Oh, those are some cool cards up there too. Shout out golf cards. That is a Ben Hogan card and a Bobby Jones card. So got the two legends of the golf world up there. We got some Cubs. I don't know. You guys don't need to see all this shit. What am I? I'm just blabbing. Well, thanks for listening. This has been subscribe. I'm going to take a second here for you to subscribe to the channel. Perfect, okay? So thank you for subscribing to the channel. Now make sure you like the video. And then go watch the next episode. Or go, you know what? Put it on loop put the podcast on loop. Go to bed. And then wake up in the morning. And then go to work. And leave it on loop the entire day, please. We got to bump these numbers. Go subscribe, and then unsubscribe, and then resubscribe, and then unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe. And we'll just do this over and over again. We'll boost these numbers up, okay? We will get these algorithm and these clankers. We will show them, okay? Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. This has been Kyle Suchlin of The Kyle Suchlin Show. As editor, producer, on camera, and all above. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.